Hi, my name is Laurie Lagrange, and I'm a member of the R&K education team. And I'm so excited today to get to show you a little bit about the Floriani Fusion Embroidery Software, show you some of my favorite features. I'm also going to show you the Rainbow software and just how easy both of these programs are to use. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, here we are in the Floriani Fusion Embroidery Software, and this is what our screen looks like when we first open it. We're going to just click on Create a New Design Page. One of the first things that I think everybody wants to do when they have embroidery software is text. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite things about the text in the Floriani Fusion. Our text tool is up on the second row of icons. It's the T. And when I click on that little arrow that shows me that I've got multiple different styles of text, we're going to start with just the regular straight text. And it's going to bring in the words my text in the last font that I used. And so now we're going to change this here. I'm going to type in Floriani Fusion, and I'm going to pick a different font. I'm going to use, let's use Dill Pickle for this one. Click apply. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 different copies because I have 3 different styles that are my favorite that I want to show you. So I'm just making 3 copies of that. Now we're going to come back to the first one and we're going to go back to editing our text. Look at these fun handles that we have here. I can stretch my text so that the top of it curves and the bottom of it stays flat. How fun is that? Love it, right? Okay, this middle one here, we're going to stretch the corners. Oops, but I need to go back to my edit text, grab this corner handle and stretch it up, and I get this beautiful angle here. And then this makes me think about doing something like a megaphone. So this would be great for your sports stuff here. And then what if we combined a couple of those things? Let's stretch this one up, this one down, but let's also do a fun curve in the middle. How fun is that? Different looks, all using just the regular straight path text, but getting 3 completely different looks. I absolutely love how easy this is to do. Now let's look at some of those other different font features. Let's create a new design page and let's do some of the circle text, but let's bring in a shape. Go to my custom shapes library here and let's just use this apple. And we'll just use our one-click wonders down here at the very bottom. And we'll just change that to some regular fill stitches. And now let's bring in some circle text to go around it. Let me just click on my apple. And you know what? Let's do one of my other favorite go-to fonts. I love Cabbage Patch. I just love just fun and different. So we're going to do that. We're going to type in the words, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Double check my spelling and click apply. Now you'll see that it goes all the way around my apple, and I could make it a little bit smaller so that it's going to be a little closer together here at the bottom. And then I'm going to, let's change the font. Let's make that green. Yeah, that one's a good green. All right, we've got green and red for our apples. All right, now we're going to select all of that and we're going to make a duplicate because I want to show you that was having our text go all the way around, but we have the option of splitting that text up. Let's actually scoot it over a little bit more here. So I'm going to come back in and go back to edit text, and I'm going to split that up and say an apple a day, and then put keeps the doctor away on the lower line. All right, and click apply. And so here we're going to have an apple a day on top going upright, and then keeps the doctor away on bottom going upright. And I could make that a little bit bigger if I wanted to kind of separate those two. Looks like I need to probably rotate just a smidge there. And then I could even make my apple a little bit larger if I wanted to. I'm going to double click on my magnifying glass there so I can zoom out. And then let's center the apple. We have these wonderful alignment tools where we can align to the left, the right, top, the bottom, center. We can center to the rulers. We can center selected objects to each other. So that makes it very easy. So here we have two completely different looks because one, the text goes all the way around, and on the other, we've got an upper and a lower text line. So super simple. Let's go in and do one more. I have so much fun with the path text. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and show you that if we go to path text and we click on the screen, we're going to get a pop-up box, and it's going to give me all of these different options to choose from. And if I decide, I don't want one of those, I'm just going to close it. And I'm going to get the words my text that are in a straight line. But this time I'm in path text. So that means that all of my little blue nodes are down on the baseline here. So I'm going to scoot this up for a second while we bring in a design. We're going to bring in from our custom shapes. I thought we would use a helmet. Oh, did I pass it? I did. Wow. There we go. Helmet. And we're going to make this helmet a little bit bigger here. And let's make the helmet blue. All about using this pop-up color palette here to get some different fun colors. And let's make that stitches as well. There we go. 3D. And then let's add something to that. Oh, let's see. Let's go with a star. We're going to make this a helmet for the Stars team. I know there's a hockey team called the Stars, but we're going to be a football team called the Stars. Different team. All right. So there we go. We're going to change that to fill stitches as well. Now, if I was to stitch this out, I would have a lot of stitches underneath here. So what I'm going to do is select that star and right click and just do a removed overlap stitches. And now you can see that I've got no stitches underneath it, and it's not going to be near as dense there. I'm just going to click undo to put it back. So now back to my text. We're going to right click and go to edit text. We're going to pick a different font. Oh, let's go with Andrew on this one. There we go. And let's just type in, let's go with Stars football team is number 1. I don't know. All right, click apply. Now this is on a path text. And so what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that and say edit the baseline. And we are going to create our own path around this helmet. We're going to just pull on this pink line. This is like when we're working with our outlines. We can pull on these handles here to change the curvature. And we're looking to just kind of come around this helmet kind of uniformly, you know, until you're happy with it. I could play with it all day, honestly, to get it just perfect, but that's going to be close enough. We're going to right click and let our text just form to that. Maybe we want our text to be a little bit smaller. Let's go with maybe a 0.65, a little bit smaller there. And then we have those great kerning icons where we can grab those little blue diamonds and we can add a little bit more space between some of the letters if we need to. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know about you, but that was pretty simple. Let's maybe make that yellow. There we go. Stars football team is number 1. So that's path text. I can use any of the preset paths, or I can create my own around my design, which is wonderful. So let's move on. I also think that it is important to do our monograms. Monograms is another thing that people are always wanting to do. So let's open another design page. Let's go to our text and choose monograms. So we have some great different monogram fonts in here. You can just kind of look through them and get a good idea of what we've got. But I really like the monogram one where we can put the diamond decors around. And I really like the circle monograms where we can put the circle decor around. Change that to 3D view so you can see that. And let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, so let's imagine that we wanted to put this monogram on a terry cloth towel. One of the wonderful features about the software is that we can have nap control. It's going to be stitches that are going to hold the nap of the towel down so that they don't get up in between our stitches. And so we're going to select our design and we're going to come up to our nap control icon on the top row and click on that and then decide how far out from the edge of the design do we want those nap control stitches to go. So it says 0.20. We're going to leave that, and whether or not we want to add a finishing run stitch, and then click OK. Now, usually when you add something in the software, it puts it at the end of the sequence, but the software is so smart, it knows that that needs to go at the beginning. Now, we have, we want to definitely do that in the same color as our towel. So if I was putting this on a white towel, I'd want to choose a white thread to do my nap control because I want the monogram to be the focal point. Now, you don't have to do nap control just under fonts and lettering and monograms. You can do it under any design. But I want to show you, since we're talking about monograms, some beautiful new fonts that have been added. And they're not fonts, some beautiful designs that have been added in this latest update, which Fusion actually got, and they don't always. And so we're going to come over to our library, and it's created a new category called fonts. And I have several really fun, whimsical, I love these. They're just gorgeous. Some great different fonts. Let's go with the K here. I like the K. And they are big, but they can be resized, but they have lots of gorgeous detail to them. So let's resize this guy just a little bit and say we were going to put him on a terry cloth towel as well. We might want that nap control underneath the K. And you can change that offset value. You can put it at whatever you want. So I'm just going to do a 10. You can see I have a lot less stitches on the outside here than I do there. And again, if I wanted to, I could change that to match the towel color. And so it's not the focal point, but my monogram is. Let me just show you a couple of the other ones too, because I absolutely love these gorgeous old-fashioned monograms here, where every letter is a different style. So that's kind of fun. Let's bring in, oh, I don't know. This S is so much fun. I like that. Let's do that. Okay. Now, this one is a pretty good size, but let's select it. And let's go ahead and go back to our nap control. Let's do a 0.2 again. And I'm going to leave that running stitch on. And this time I'm going to expand and show you, remember, we left the running stitch outline on and the fill stitch here. What if I didn't want the fill stitch, but I want that outline? Isn't that fun? And we can do that not only on designs, but we can also do that on our lettering. So I'm going to come back over to our first design page and choose one of these. And let's do nap control under it. Let's do it at 0.2, but let's leave that finishing run stitch. And then let's expand and delete that fill. Isn't that fun? I can create that beautiful outline, whatever distance I want from the outside there. So anyway, just a lot of fun, some different fun things that we can do with text in the software. And so let's open another design page, and I want to talk about the different shapes that are available in here. I kind of have used them a couple of times here. We go to our custom shapes library, which actually we have a couple of different ways to get to. We also have a custom shapes library folder, but they're the same thing. And here we have all these amazing little shapes that Floriani has given us to work with. And these are all artwork, things that we can change to stitches. So I've got this heart here, and it's artwork. It's something I can just click on and be able to change it to stitches, right? But I also can edit it. What if I wanted to change the shape of this heart? I have the shape tool icon, which is down here on my selection controls. It's also on our third icon down. But you'll recognize that pink outline with the blue dots, just like we had on our baseline of our text. So I'm going to move this up, and I might decide I want it to be a little narrower. Maybe I want it to be a different color. Let's give it a purple color and maybe fill it in. Okay, now it's still artwork. I don't have any stitches, but if I really like the shape of this heart, I can save that now. So I'm going to come in to my tools. Oops, I have to have it selected. Come over to tools and go to save custom shapes. It knows where to put it. All I have to do is give it a name. So I'm going to say, let's change it to my heart. And then we're going to click on save, right? Now I've already got it in there, so I had to overwrite it. It was pink before, but now I come back to my custom shapes, and there it is, my heart, the one okay? So we can have a lot of fun with this. We've got some overlapping shapes here. You know, we could take these and we could change them both to stitches. Let's maybe change them to something different, like a fancy fill. Okay, here I have, oh, let's change that one to a fancy fill too. And then let's change it so that they're not exactly the same. That's kind of fun. All right, so these fancy fills give us some texture to our stitches. Now, we would have a lot of extra stitches underneath there. So if we click on the one that's on top, we can remove overlaps, just like we did a few minutes ago. If I move that, you can see that the stitches have been removed. Okay, so that's one way we could do it. Or what if we wanted this to be all one piece? Let me undo that, and let's undo again until they're back to artwork. With their artwork, I can select them both and I can weld them together. By welding them together, they become one, And now I can change their stitch type. I've got just my regular fills. I've got my fancy fills. Maybe I want to try the motif fills. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger here. There we go. Beautiful motif fills where we can see some of the fabric behind. Let's play with a couple of those and see what we've got. We can also change the size of the patterns. Okay, that's kind of fun. Maybe we want to even do something like a mixed pattern. Look at this. How much fun can we have with this? We can create our own fills by mixing two of the different designs together. So we're getting creative here. I love how easy it is to just play with these things. And you could spend hours doing this, I'm telling you. Maybe we want to change this into an applique. So we can choose those and we can click on our applique button. And automatically the software knows to create the different pieces. I have my placement line, my tack down line, and my finishing stitch. But maybe instead of a satin stitch, I want to use a blanket stitch. Isn't that cute? Or maybe I want to use a motif stitch. And I've got lots of different motifs. Again, those same motifs, but now available as an outline that I could use to create this beautiful motif around my applique. But I still have my placement and my tack down lines automatically. So just super easy. Oh, I know another fun feature. I love the embossing. Let's go back to having just our regular fill and let's bring in another heart. Let's go back down. Let's get that same heart and make it a little bit smaller. Oh, no, maybe not that small, Laurie. Oh, there we go. And let's bring it over here and watch this. We have a cool feature called embossing. I'm just going to click on that. And now I have made an indentation of that other heart within these hearts. So it's not stitches itself. It's not an actual outline. It's just an indentation. So that's a lot of fun. One of the other things I wanted to show you while we're at it, we're going to go into some of the digitizing features because there are some in this program, but let's talk about the rainbow that you're going to get when you buy Fusion today. Let's click on these hearts and let's go into this wonderful rainbow feature. And we have these amazing different themes, I guess we would call them, where we could change different themes here. You can adjust how much of a color you have or don't have. Maybe you want to get rid of one particular color. You can do that too. Click on it and choose to get rid of that. But we can also create our own themes as well. So, you know, that's a lot of fun to work with. But you can do the rainbow even with our text. Okay, so let's go in back over here. Let's grab this text and let's take that text into our Floriani Fusion and let's just pick a different, there we go. Let's do rainbow. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. I absolutely love the rainbow feature and I know that that's going to be a fun thing for you to play with as well. So we can do it on text. We can do it on designs. We can do it on a partial design. If we had more than one object here, we could do just on part of it. So that's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get another design page because I want to make sure that I get to show you some of the digitizing options here. So we have the auto digitizing wizard. So if you have a JPEG image to bring in, let's do this tree right here and click open. And next, we want to tell it about what size. Let's say we want it to be 4 inches tall and then click next and next. And next, then we have some different things like our jumps and our trims. I'm going to say to always trim it. I'll do a finish and click 3D. And I easily took that simple JPEG into the auto digitize wizard and was able to convert it to embroidery stitches rather quickly. Now, another option, sometimes the digitizing wizards don't always do as good a job as you want them to. And that has to do with the quality of our JPEG image. But the other option we have is to bring in a JPEG as a backdrop. And so I'm going to open that. And as you'll notice, this tree right here is all of these pieces, but this tree is not in my sequence view. And it's not something I can just select and turn into stitches like you've seen me do with the other artwork that we've brought in. Here, we actually have to go to our backdrop tool. We can resize it there. Let's go to about 4 inches again. Okay. And then we are going to trace this. Okay, let's move this other tree. I want to do all items here, group this together and scoot this over a little bit. So this one, I'm going to trace using my artwork tools. I have the ability just to trace and draw in this program, which is awesome. Really opens up a lot of opportunities here for us to be able to create some great designs. I'm going to select that and do my closed shape. Change that to that light green and make it stitches. And now I'm going to do the next section. I'm just going to follow along. I'm going to come just inside the light green here. I want to have just a little bit of an overlap so that my so I don't have any gaps there when it stitches out, right? So I'm just going to kind of follow this path along. This is pretty simple. I'm just left clicking. Instead of closing it myself, I'm going to right click, select it and close the shape. Change the color of that one to the darker green and make it fill stitches. And then let's move the top one down in the sequence so that it's slightly on top of the darker green. And then we would just do the same thing for the other pieces here. So it's pretty simple. Once you get the hang of drawing, you'll notice that it's just really a quick and simple thing to be able to completely digitize this by manually drawing it. And you'll have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to just finish this one up, and then we will not worry about the trunk right now. We're going to let that one just go ahead and be, but we want to move this one up in the sequence there. So that this would stitch, then this one, then this one. So very quick and easy, looks just as good as the auto digitize. And so that is an option. I'm going to grab another design page real quick. Another fun thing we can do is let's bring in another JPEG, and I want to show you the difference between that magic wand and the redwork tool. I'm looking for these music notes down here. There they are. All right. So with the magic wand, I just click on the black, and I need to also do this little piece in the middle here, and it has identified the outlines of those black parts. And I'm going to scoot that over so you can see that. So I've got both an inside and an outside line, and I'm just going to use my auto satin and turn that guy to stitches. Now I want to use my redwork tool. And again, I'm going to click right on the black pieces, both the inside and the outside. But this time I have a single running stitch. Oops, I didn't get the corner of that. The whole thing has to be in the box when I select. I'm going to group them together. And I'm going to just scoot those over so you can see. I have a satin stitch and I have a running stitch. Now this one in the middle is just our backdrop, so it is not going to stitch out. It's just something I can toggle on and off. But let me also show you how we could take this one that's a running stitch and duplicate it. And let's convert that one to artwork. And now we have two pieces here, and if we combined them to one piece, we could now use our fill stitches. So that now opens up the opportunity to use our fancy fills or our motif fills or even our appliques. Lots of fun different options. I could run this through the rainbow, give that a fun little rainbow look to it. You know, let's maybe change our start and stop. I don't know if that's gonna what that's going to do here. Oh, we've got a different angle of our music stitches. So anyway, just a lot of fun. Again, that is just another way I can use a JPEG in the software and do a quick digitizing. Now, I'm going to get another design page, and let's look at another fun feature of the software, the wordplay. On my second row of icons here, it's a purple diamond. I have several different shapes here that I can choose from. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Let's see. Let's do, let's keep it simple. Let's just go with the baby onesie. Let's do a height of 6 inches, and let's change our shape type to a running stitch. We want to come over to the right side, and we just want to put in a few words. Maybe it's a boy. Or maybe this is like a reveal party, like, we don't know. Is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a girl? We don't know. Is it twins? Who knows, right? So we're just going to put in a couple of words there. We're going to select a font. Let's see. Oh, I don't even know. Harvey. Let's just go with Harvey. And we're going to change the scale so that it only goes about 40%. And right now it's set to go any angle. Let's just generate it. Let's just see. And we told it a maximum colors of 15. That was kind of the default. We may not really want 15 colors. So we might go in and change that. And let's say we don't want any more than 5 colors, right? Now, do you like that they're going every which direction, or do you want to be a little more organized about it? You just make whatever changes you want and then click generate, and it will redo and create a new look for us. I like that. Good. All right. So when you're happy with it, you just click OK, and then you can bring it in. Let's go to 3D view. So that was our running stitch outline, but really it doesn't matter which outline you choose there, because you can really choose any outline. I could even turn this into an applique if I wanted to. Totally up to you. You're not stuck with it looking exactly like this. If you want to make changes to individual ones, you can, or maybe you want to select just a couple to get rid of, because maybe we want to do something like bring that heart in. Remember our heart that we made earlier. Bring that in, and let's resize it. Maybe a little bit more there. And let's just turn that to stitches. So a lot of fun. We could change the size, the font, the colors, move them around, delete them, anything we want. But that's wordplay, and that is just a lot of fun. We haven't looked at our slow redraw yet. Slow redraw is a wonderful feature, especially when you have designs where you're trying to maybe stop in a certain spot or something like that. But this is slow redraw up here. I could just push play, and it's going to stitch out in the same order that it will on my machine. And this is an applique, so you can see a placement line, a tack down line, and then it's going to do a satin stitch. And I'm just going to hurry through this by just dragging this along the slider. And so that would be my applique, and then it would do all of the same color so that you're not having to bounce back and forth with color changes. And so there we go. And you might want to do something like go in and choose all the word boys and make them blue, all the baby yellow, maybe all the girl pink. I don't know, whatever you want to do, but that's slow redraw. Another wonderful feature about the Floriani software is the print preview. So I'm going to just go to my print preview here, and I have the crosshairs, and I can actually print this on the Floriani template tearaway and actually have a precision placement sticker that I can use when hooping this up. Line up the crosshairs with the marks on my hoop. So I can go into my settings. We can have the color analysis be on the other page if we'd rather, instead of at the bottom. Instead of crosshairs, maybe we want to use the Floriani cat if we have the brother or baby lock top of the line machines. And so we could just look at that. It reads it just like the snowman sticker. Our color analysis is now on the second page, where it tells us this is my placement line. Make sure that you stop and put your fabric down. This is my tack down line. Make sure you stop and trim your fabric. And then this is the stitches in the order. It also is going to give us the length of thread that it is going to use. That might be important if you own a business and you charge by the thread length. But that's a print preview for us. And Save to Sew. Save to Sew is probably one of the best features in the Floriani software. So we're going to come up to our file, Save to Sew, and I would choose what I'm going to put this on. Wouldn't it be funny if I put this on a baby onesie? So if I was going to put this on a baby onesie, then I would want to know, what stabilizer do I need? We won't worry about the settings right now, but if we just were looking at what stabilizers do I need to use, I could click Next. And it's going to tell me that I should fuse the Floriani Power Mesh Fusible to the backside of my onesie, or I should say to the inside. We're going to use the Floriani Perfect Stick instead of hooping it. We're just going to stick it to the stabilizer. And we should use a topper. They recommend the Heat and Gone topper, but you could use either the Heat and Gone or the water soluble in this situation here. When you're done, you could save it, and you would save it as your machine file type. I don't want to save necessarily right now, but I just want to go back and show you that also if we wanted to put this on, maybe we were making a quilt. Okay, maybe we want to choose a quilting cotton instead. And then just click that and click Next. And here are the recommendations for that. Now it's saying to use the Floriani Dreamweave Ultra to prep the back of my quilting fabric, to use the Floriani Heat and Stay as my stabilizer, and then again to use the Floriani Heat and Gone. And this time I am going to hoop it. So you can see how by changing the type of fabric I'm going to stitch on, that it's going to give me the recommendations for the stabilizer. That is such a wonderful feature that we have in the Floriani Fusion software. There are so many other fun features that I could go through. I'll just mention a few. We have the, let's see, where did it go? We have color play. We did rainbow, but color play is slightly different. We have all of these templates here where we could fling in random places. We could make very specific lines and columns. We can do corner repeats and circle templates. This is great for doing spirograph and wreaths and things like that. We've got the split wizard is another great feature. We have just a ton of stuff built into the Floriani Fusion software. And remember that when you get the Floriani Fusion today, that you're going to get the Rainbow add-on program as a bonus. And so I hope that you have just as much fun in the software as I do. And we look forward to doing classes together, events all over the country, and of course, lots of different things on our Facebook page. So definitely we'll hope to